Here's why the MCU is back in 5 minutes or less. And no, it's not because of that corporate slop, it's because of this corporate slop. Jokes aside, while the MCU is commercial, corporate, blockbuster filmmaking 101, it hasn't amassed millions of die-hard fans for no reason. From longitudinal stories and characters spanning several films, Marvel movies have held a special place in audiences' hearts for over a decade. But ever since Avengers Endgame, it's felt like the Marvel magic has been missing. That is, until Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is a return to what made the MCU so engrossing, evocative, and entertaining in the first place: quality storytelling. This movie does everything right and finally feels like the MCU knows what it's doing and what direction it's going in without the pressure of a shared universe overshadowing the characters or story within the movie itself. Thunderbolts is both a self-contained story and a key part of the MCU's overarching story. From a balanced director using practical sets and stunts to strong writers who clearly did their MCU homework, every element of Thunderbolts comes together seamlessly and beautifully. You don't see the reshoots, the last-minute CGI, or the underdeveloped on-set script rewrites that have become so synonymous with recent Marvel projects. Instead, you have incredible character development for multiple characters, clever writing from start to finish, creative direction, cinematography, and action choreography, emotional and relatable storytelling, and just enough comic book and MCU references that connect to previous and upcoming projects while retaining its own identity. It's refreshing to be able to say that about a Marvel movie again. At its heart, Thunderbolts is about facing and overcoming your own darkness and finding your support system. In a time where almost everyone has struggled with mental health in one way or another, this story could easily have come off as derivative, cliche, and underbaked. But the reason Thunderbolts works so well is that it handles its subject matter with maturity, assuredness, and compassion. It knows when to be serious, and it knows when to lighten the mood with levity. Most importantly, it understands and respects its characters, giving each their own moments to shine without overlooking their imperfections. Simply put, it's human characters in a human movie about being human. This balanced, human, emotional storytelling is exactly what made Marvel so successful in the first place. Marvel is at its best when it focuses on the characters rather than the fan service or the message or the box office. A good example of what I mean is Bucky. When we first met him in Captain America: Winter Soldier, Bucky was a cool, ruthless, brainwashed force of nature, oozing aura and defined by his trauma. Since then, he's gone through a lot of healing, development, and emotional growth, mostly in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You would think that in an attempt to appeal to as many people as possible, including those who haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Marvel would ignore all of his character development and once again depict Bucky as an emo, unstable, ex-Hydra weapon with cool action sequences. A perfect fit with the rest of the Thunderbolts cast. And maybe at one point Marvel would have done that, but Thunderbolts doesn't do that. Thunderbolts continues Bucky's journey where we left off in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, while also giving him a real reason to be involved with this group of anti-heroes. Bucky's growth is not ignored but built upon through his interactions with the other characters, and so by the end of the movie we all feel like we've moved forward with Bucky into a really exciting new chapter. At the same time, Bucky hasn't lost his cool factor. He's just as much of an action powerhouse in this movie as he was in his debut. That is why Thunderbolts works. Each character is treated with respect, each character demonstrates growth, but each character still retains the unique elements that made fans like them in the first place. Bucky's action, Walker's snarkiness, Ghost's visuals, I could go on. We as an audience are rewarded for following these characters across several movies and shows by seeing them change and evolve while visually leveling up. And despite the focus on character development, this movie doesn't forget that it's part of the MCU, with references to previous MCU events throughout the movie and a finale that sets up some really exciting developments. It goes to show what a difference steady, confident, and assured writing makes. And the best part is, these setups and teases will pay off within the next project or two. This is what made interconnected movie storytelling in the MCU first work 15 years ago, and it's what makes Thunderbolts work now. A focus on quality character development visually and emotionally, and setting up elements that we can see pay off within a year of release. If the MCU continues this approach, then we've got a lot more exciting stories to look forward to. And if you've made it this far, then you realize by now that this video is actually a Thunderbolts review. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of Thunderbolts and of the MCU so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.